Have you ever just sat around and just played with the lights just to see what they can do? Are you familiar with SoundTraxx lighting effects? Well, we're going to dive into that topic tonight. Hey guys, George here at SoundTraxx, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about the lighting. Now, with SoundTraxx decoders, with various decoders, whether you get the Econami, Tsunami2, or the Blunami, you get up to 8 lighting outputs depending on the board format. And this allows you to do all kinds of things, illuminate things like, of course, the headlight and the backup light. But you got Mars lights, gyro lights, rotary beacons, you can do number boards, class lights, all kinds of cool things. But have you actually ever sat down and just played with the lights? Well, the good news is with our decoders, you cannot break the decoder by changing CV values. So if you're unsure of what type of lighting patterns each one of the lighting effects are, you can just simply take a look. Now, the best part about all of our decoders is that every single lighting effect is adjustable. So you can make anything Mars lights or gyro lights or whatever lighting effect that you want in our decoders. You're not forced to have simply on-off or relegated to making sure the headlight is always just a headlight. You can remap it and remake it to whatever you want it to be. So in today's episode, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you a couple of the different lighting effects using this Blunami. Now, the Blunami, the Tsunami2, and the Econami all share many of the same lighting effects using the same CVs, but today I'm just going to use the app just so you can see the different lighting effects. Now, for information on setting the decoders up, if you're using a Econami or a Tsunami2, you'll want to refer to the user's guide so that you can go in and set the CVs accordingly. So now what I'm going to do is on this locomotive, you can see through the alternate camera over here that I have the headlight illuminated on the locomotive. Now we're going to go ahead and change that, and we're just going to show you a couple of the different lighting effects and patterns that you can activate in your locomotive. So one of them here, we're going to go to the gear settings and we're going to go to our light settings. Now, because we're adjusting the headlight, we're going to go ahead and use our headlight settings. Now, in the Blunami app, you can actually see the first thing there is listed as called the headlight effect or the lighting effect. And this is applicable to the headlight itself. So we're going to click that, and you can see all the different lighting effects that you have access to. And so what we're going to do first is we're just going to show you a Mars light. So we click that, and now you can see on the LED here in the headlight, you can see a Mars light pattern flashing. Now, when we're doing this, first of all, you'll also notice that I do have it listed as a headlight as an LED. So 3 or 4 settings down, you see that it actually is indicated an LED. Now, this doesn't actually change the output voltage. What it does is it changes the way the signal is sent through the wire so that your LED will appear more lifelike and more animated. So as we go through here, we're going to change this out. We're going to go ahead and let's turn on a single flash strobe. And what does that look like? So you can see the single strobe flash pattern here in the alternate camera. That's looking head on. Now when we change that up, we're just going to try a double flash strobe here. And now you can see that the light pattern has changed, and so therefore you're getting that double flash. So that kind of gives you the idea of what you're looking at. Now as you scroll through the list, you can see all kinds of different things. Stratolights, which simulates the 3 lights that illuminate in sequence. As they rotate around, you can see the different brilliances change. You can go through here and let's just even look at, we have firebox flicker. So we actually can do firebox flicker on a diesel. So you normally wouldn't do this, but this is a neat effect if you have an LED buried in the exhaust stack where you might be able to have some exhaust flicker. But actually, there's a lighting effect for that. And the lighting effect for the exhaust flicker, where it says engine exhaust flicker right there, will actually give you a minor flicker as the diesel engine is on, which of course my diesel engine is off at the moment. So let's go ahead and get it started. So while I'm talking about this, your engine exhaust flicker will flicker lightly in the exhaust port. And as you increase the speed, that flicker will get a little bit brighter as your diesel engine notches up and goes through the process. So now you should be able to see a little bit of flicker So as I run the motor, and you can see the exhaust flicker as it's flickering up and down, just to kind of simulate some of the diesel exhaust that you would find. Now this, of course, starts happening when you move the locomotive. And I have to admit, this is a feature I don't use very often. I've only used it, I think, one locomotive in all the time I've been doing this. So my apologies for not necessarily knowing all the specifics about that particular one. But we have all the different lighting effects. And so if you want to go through and just play with them, kind of like what I'm doing right now, you can go through and change this out. So if we want to change this to a brake light, for example, now this is a really cool effect because the light will be dim. But then when we come over here and we set our brakes, you can see that the light brightens up when I hit the brakes. And then when I release, you see the light go back dim. Now normally you wouldn't have this on a diesel. This would normally be something like a streetcar or a trolley. Or let's say if you have a light industrial diesel or something like that, like a rail car or rail bus, you could use that lighting effect there. So I hope this has been helpful for you guys, and I know there's a lot of information in there, but the good news is that you can go through and make changes and adjust and experiment and kind of see what all these different lighting effects are. You may find some lighting effects that you really, really like and have to implement in your models. And there's also some lighting features that I didn't show you today that you may want to go in and take a look and see if they're accessible in your models. So guys, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Be sure to like this video down below. And if you have a comment, please type it in the comments section below or send us an email to support@soundtraxx.com. We'll be happy to dive deeper into all of this. But the good news is with all of this is that your decoder is adjustable. You can change it to your heart's content, and it's up to you to decide how much or how little you want. But you can't break the decoder by simply changing CVs, because if you could, we didn't do our job very well. So I hope this has been helpful. We'll see you guys next time.